Hello everyone, this is Maxwell Keel here today, and I'll be reading some poems from a book of poems I plan on publishing one day, or I plan to. It's called An Unfinished Life by Maxwell Kale, and here we go. First poem, Here's to You. That's the name of the poem. Here's an ode to you, trauma. For now, you see all that which I see, and you tell me so ever so greatly. Do you like eggs in the morning too, or do you prefer toast? If I ask, will you go dancing with me? Trauma, you're all I've got left from a year-long stand. The giver of your gift has left me long ago, but you, the gift that keeps on giving, I say give me some more. Then more than that, just give me it all. Oh, Trauma, I know we shouldn't be friends, but I envy you so. You got a way of standing up for yourself and filling a room. The way you make this man shudder and call for respect. Can you please teach me? My next poem is called The Gift of Illness. Oh, illness of the mind, this man I could have been in life, if you ever gave me kindness to grant such a thing. For these iron bars allow life in tauntingly. Oh, illness of the mind, those flickers of the outside taunt me so. Yet such flickers must envy me, for I know it mad to say such a thing. Oh, illness of the mind, I've seen those lights go in and out. Such bewilderment happens not in the dark, for the dark can never become more dark. Oh, illness of the mind, this man I could have been in life can never be the man that survives this kindness you've given me so. The next poem, An Ode to Atheism. In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was if I, and the Word was I, for I am all that I define, and without I, these words you speak of mean nothing. My next poem, Trauma. Like my eyes of green, you come with me and show me the world. Without consent, the colors of things mute and vibrate in your prism. The next one, An Ode to Hope. There's a lot of odes here. I think it's an easy way to start a poem. Oh, death, how you'll never know how this idea of life meant so much to me. For even if I who live cursed disease with said life, the idea of life meant more to me than you'll ever know. Oh, death, how you'll never know what I saw and would see was nothing compared to what I could see. For life, to such fools as you and I, is not the idea of life is everything. Oh, death, how you'll never know what I meant to write. My next poem, To Walk Depressed. Something I do often. If I were to take a walk into the woods, would this thought of worthlessness walk with me? For what is worth to a forest not worth a thing? Should the trees sulk over in the wind with me, and should they too shiver? My next poem, Patria Mea. It means my country in Latin. Useful. For us, the sons of patriots, know not the love of false kings, and riots for false idols that this patriotism held hostage by those that love said false idol. I release you with stern kindness. For I stand with those who stand with me, for I stand with those who stand not with me. Yet I do not stand with those who deem a stolen republic, for Patria Mea knows not the love of a tyrant, but the love of all those that believe in it. To be in a society. This one's really deep. For all of I is you to me, back to I. So some explanation of that one. The whole point of that poem is that like all of I is you to me, back to I is essentially like you can't really ever be your own self because everything that exists of you is really what everyone has told you about you, and it's you back to them in a society. Smart, right? The next poem, An Ode to Echoes, another ode. Let no man weigh that which nature has given, for he be of said nature, and the nature of judgment to me has no bearing. For I am one with the genes that have made me, centuries of lust and one-night stands, trips on the Mayflower, and those that survived the Civil War. Man may speak of comparisons and flaws, and for this I speak to him in a language beyond said man. The echoes of my birth carried all those that came before, and like animals we carry said echoes nowhere. Ode to Nobody. I'm running out of odes. Things to do odes to, obviously. Can the world ever love the nobody, the one who accomplished naught and never turned an eye? Is there ever love for what is not held together by ideals in comparison? Can the world ever love the nobody, and does it deserve the love of nobody back? Time. If I were to have a flower, for every time I thought I could walk through my garden forever, This eternal spring, I imagine, wouldn't taunt me so. My curse to define. This destitution, this illness, this shame sits with me like the color of my eyes sits, simply as fact and not a fault in character. For this character of mine knows far more than the limits of my humanity, and this humanity is simply my curse to define. Join me. They call me a dumb man, for I am and I admit it so. They call me a blind man, for I am, sight was never one to me. They call me an ugly man, for I am, and in such freedom they call me an unlovable man, for I am not. For I know love beyond all metric. They call me a poor man, for I am not. My riches are worth nothing, and I am never lost. They can call me a dumb man, for I am. So join me. To bone. O life, if it be your will to take it all, please take it ravenously. These thieves of mine I call eyes, O life, have taken more than you could ever realize. For visions seen and yet not seen in flesh run rampant. Please take these especially ravenously. O life, in your will to take it all, a gift you have given granted. This child in me watches as the man of me sighs. O life, this will of yours to take it all has left me too with a hunger no nourishment can satisfy. And I too run ravenously as my gaunt flesh turns to bone. Questions from those that are in the cold to those that are warm, since that title couldn't have been any more complicated. In the eyes of warmth and prosperity, to starvation and damnation to the cold, deem us untouchables. Can love reach even us in this abyss, and will it be the ark to our salvation? Do shadows dance behind the windows from where the light emanates inside by the fire, and do they too taunt those that lit it? When my friend fell, was I the fool for not lending out a hand, and I was the jester for letting them fall? Or perhaps, as the warm ones have told me so, I did the best for letting them go. Naked with you. Pretty close. I'm shirtless. In the hall of shame, will you stand naked with me, my friend, to be damned under the eager eye of every man we've met? If beauty be the world, and in this hall the world exists more than it should, shall we name beauty just a word, such a vibration with no damn meaning? This vibration can't shame you anymore, so cry, my man. Here is my hand. The ringing once in your ear now echoes as sound, simply sound. I see you shudder and flinch, and the hand tries to cover that which can only bring you joy. Here I have another hand, hold it, take it, I take the knee, and let me gaze upon the head of the shamed, and place my head upon joy no longer covered. Watch all those that gaze upon us. Whisper in the hall of shame, can two men stand naked in front of all man? For we have, my lover, and we'll do it again. For sounds we've learned strung together no longer spell shame. This one is called Love in a World of Crowns. While the whole world's being crowned, let's run off into the woods together. Just our nothingness and frail nature, ravenous for what remains to live. In a world where the crown fall down sick and die, let's dance like jesters, for we know not the day our crown shall come. So come fall down with me, die with me, that smirk on your face has made my joy live defiant in the face of eternity. I can see it in your eye, my sweet prince, our time soon comes. Thrust all your bitterness and sorrow into me, I take it all. To watch a man smile. In a breath you whisper to me, can shame catch us in the woods? With your bare-ass naked self on display, I forgot, but I think you smiled. Do words mean anything to those that don't speak them? Then no. So no, I said. A liar I was, and shame meant the world to me, but in a breath to live, but to live in a whisper, your whisper. Shame may have caught me even in the woods, yet lives our lives mean so much more. And that question I lost it all, while shame watched us in the woods. Did it see you smile too? Timbuktu. Hey, you and me, let's take a vacation. I know we both got enough baggage between us to fill a whole plane, so I got a plan for that too. Let's just keep jumping from airport to airport, hand in hand, from here to Timbuktu. You'll often smile and I'll throw you a grin, and let's just hope all this baggage gets lost. And a trash bin, or even better, stolen. I saw you in the lady in the bathroom at the Atlanta airport, and it really made you look divine. On the beach of eternity, do you think we too will live that life we see so often? I really want to see you in those swim trunks you don't think you can wear and actually smile. I promise we don't need to hashtag it. If we lose the baggage that makes you feel fat, can we go to the buffet and eat like those damn disorders telling us not to? If being fat isn't a crime in Timbuktu and this never ends and I get over not being enough of a man, And those sheets take a vacation from big expectations. If I smile, will you tell me? Let's just go on a vacation. To speak of men, I yearn to meet you in the primal awakening of our cherished desire. And we fend off eternity with feral lust. Two men ravaged, naked, staying warm in the cold of the tundra of our souls. The gates of heaven are creaking, and to me and to you, to I, we grant this gift of acceptance. Simply screwing in the long day and night, we speak of men. Ode to my art. Oh God, I'm running out of topics. For even with this body of mine declares itself no longer living, I shall live, for in defiance I still lived. The breath of me dances outside this body, back to the dance of air, and it often danced unwilling, lulling me into passive resistance. Watch as this body means nothing as it simply rots, yet I shall live, for in defiance I still lived and wrote my life upon the wall. Such a thing just to be. Outside of my wants and my needs, who am I? This gracious gift everyone I've ever met has given me so, and I've given them. For my place and their place, we all sat around as children. We looked and listened and learned. If I skipped class that day, then the next, how would I hold myself in such a world? For I've learned love so much, the word simply means nothing, and how I want more than nothing, it kills me so. Without these wants and needs I learned as a child, sitting round the other children, would I too wander lost like a child? Or would I such a thing just be? Unity. To think the sound of rain I hear outside my window has been the same banal sound to anyone with working ears in time. As if such a sound should unite working deaf ears, outside the window the sound of rain I hear. You too, as well as I. If we took a walk out into the dark, would you glow more than I? Would all that makes you whole illuminate the sky? Would you too see black and be one with? Does all that make me less black in the blacked out sky? Do we as fools shine none the less the same, for we claim to run separate? Yet you too, as well as I, what do we mean to a blacked out sky? Ode to depression. For this illness is of me as much as it is myself. Yet beyond the concept of my ego in said illness, if to be this illness comes, so be it, for I am beyond myself and me. I exist brightly. In defiant behavior, I make this illness laugh. And like sounds in the air. In the grand hall of life, where such a hierarchy deems us so, you are nothing as so am I, for nothing is the gift life gives us, and worth is what society ills us. Yet you such as I, we mean so much more than thoughts and classism, for we are wordless and like sounds in the air, we just exist. And ode to another. This will be the last one. Oh, to be one again who knows not the word best means, to be that fool again. I'll give it all, for simply having it all now really means nothing in the face of that nostalgia. Perhaps again I am the fool, so be it. For my land of knowledge and position was simply a trap away from such a time, and how I chased it, oh how I chased, as they just told me so. And it just chased me. Oh, to be one again who knows not what the word best means, but to truly just be one and not one amongst another and another. You know what? Fuck it, we'll do one more poem. To those days. Here's an ode to those days where I didn't know myself and spent so much time claiming I did. How a fool I was to deem myself unworthy when such a word like everything else means nothing at all. Remember when I walked down the road and spent all day talking about how one needs to walk faster and faster? Truly I did, and I regret it so. For fast walking is simply walking, and sadly I'm on my way walking out of life. So here's an ode to those days when I didn't know myself and spent so much time claiming I did. So, those are from my poem collection I always wanted to put together called, An Unfinished Life. So, they're kind of finished, but maybe they're not finished, so maybe they're unfinished still. So I hope you enjoyed them. Bye. And they're by me, Maxwell Kale.